December 24th, 1999, Christmas Eve. For 176 passengers on board Flight IC-814, it was supposed to be a routine journey home. But as they fastened their seat belts, no one knew that this would be the flight that would hold them captive in a terror-stricken nightmare for the next 7 days. It all seemed so ordinary. For the next 40 minutes, Flight IC-814 soared high in the clear blue sky. But soon, a terrifying shift in power would occur. In an instant, the serene cabin turned into a battlefield. The hijackers moved swiftly, taking over the cockpit, overpowering the flight attendants, and forcing the pilots to change course. They had knives, but their greatest weapon was fear. Denied permission to land in Pakistan, the hijackers grew agitated, their threats becoming more severe. The plane needed to land soon, or it would run out of fuel. The passengers, held hostage at 35,000 feet, were at the mercy of the hijackers' every whim. Amritsar could have been the end of the ordeal. Commandos were on standby, waiting for the go-ahead to storm the plane. But a delay in decision-making, a crucial few minutes, allowed the hijackers to force the pilots to take off again. The plane, refueled, slipped away from rescue. In Lahore, the hijackers made it clear they wanted the release of 3 jailed militants from India: Masood Azhar, Mushtaq Ahmed Zargar, and Omar Sheikh. As the hours dragged on, Pakistan, like India, was caught in a geopolitical quagmire, unwilling to intervene directly but hosting the hijackers as they plotted their next move. For 7 days, the passengers of Flight IC-814 lived in constant fear. They were hostages to not just men with knives, but to time itself. Every passing moment felt like a countdown to death. One passenger, Rupin Katyal, was not so lucky. Stabbed multiple times by the hijackers, he bled out, becoming a tragic casualty of this brutal saga. In New Delhi, ministers and intelligence officers worked round the clock, weighing the unthinkable. Should they release terrorists who had killed innocents in the past and risk future attacks? Or should they stand firm, knowing that more lives could be lost on board IC-814? After days of tension, the decision was made. 3 militants, including Masood Azhar, the founder of Jaish-e-Mohammed, would be released. It was a move that would haunt India for years, a decision that echoed in every corner of the country as citizens asked, was this the right call? Finally, on December 31st, after 7 days of terror, the hijackers' demands were met. Masood Azhar, Zargar, and Sheikh walked free. The hostages were released, but for many, the scars of the ordeal would never fade. And for India, the future consequences of releasing such men would be deadly. Within a year, Masood Azhar's group would orchestrate the attack on the Indian Parliament. The passengers of IC-814 were finally home, but their country had paid a steep price. The release of Masood Azhar would lead to a chain of terror attacks in India, from the 2001 Parliament attack to the deadly Mumbai attacks of 2008. The hijacking of IC-814 was not just an assault on a plane, it was an assault on a nation's spirit. It showed how terror can transcend borders and leave scars that last for decades. In the annals of aviation history, IC-814 stands as a dark chapter, a haunting reminder that the skies too can be a battleground.